there, this is Chrissy with Teeny.Tiny.Photography, and today we have a teeny tiny tutorial for you on how to close those newborn eyes in Photoshop. Sometimes when we're doing our photo session, everything might be going really well, but they have the eye that just kind of doesn't close all the way because everything else looks so good. We want to keep on shooting, keep the session going, and as long as their eye is about 3/4 of the way closed, we can finish the job in Photoshop later on. So let's jump right in and learn how to do it easy. Alright, so right here is an image of a little boy right there, and as you can see, everything is looking pretty good. He didn't want to close his eye all the way, and that's why we're here today to learn how to fix that. So the first thing you want to do, and the first thing you want to do with every photo in Photoshop, is make a duplicate copy. That way, if you royally screw up, it's really no big deal because your original is not affected. So we'll make a duplicate copy, and we'll zoom in just to give you a little better idea of what's going on. Here, his left eye looks almost closed, but not quite all the way, and then his right eye needs a little bit more help. So let's just go ahead and get started. What we're going to do is, first thing, we're going to go to File. No. Actually, what we're going to do is we're going to hit this lasso tool, and we're going to draw a shape right around his little eye. And we're going to trace that eyelid all the way from left to right. Trace that eyelid. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it doesn't hurt if it's close. And then you're going to go up a little bit. I like to go about mid-forehead. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room because I'm going to warp this eyelid on down. So after we get it, we got the ants marching, the little white and black line. We're going to go to Edit, and then we are going to go to Transform, and then we're going to go to Warp. That is going to bring up this little box all around that shape we just made. We're going to grab it kind of here near the middle, right near the middle of the eyelid, and pull it down. Look at that. So that eyelid is magically closing on its own. Let's go ahead and hit Command D to deselect that, hit Enter, and then hit Command D to deselect those ants marching. As you can see, that did a pretty good job. We're not quite done. There's one more step, but that's a really good start. Why don't we move on to this other eyelid here? And we're going to do that. Actually, let's do that. Let's save what we just did, because if we screw up the other eyelid, we want to make sure that we at least saved what we've done so far. So we're gonna go ahead and do that. We're gonna duplicate again and do the same thing on the other eye. So again, just like this eye, we're gonna grab that lasso tool. We're gonna draw on that eyelid, left to right, right to left, whatever's clever. Do a little half circle shape, and ants marching. Edit, Transform, Warp, and again, we're going to take that eyelid and we're going to pull it down. My goodness, that looks good. Hit Enter. To get rid of ants marching, we're going to hit Command D, deselect. And I'm going to go ahead and flatten that image. As you can see, as we pull out, that looks really good. That baby's eyes are closed. Because we are a little bit of a perfectionist, we're going to go ahead and do step 2. It doesn't take any much more time, but it's going to really perfect that image. So again, we're going to duplicate layer, hit OK, and this time we are going to go to Filter. We're going to use a Liquify tool. So we're going to go Filter, down to Liquify. That screen's going to open here, and why don't we zoom? We're going to zoom on in so we can see what we're doing here on the eye. Zoom, 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 zoom. There we go. And this is going to be Freeze and Liquify. We're going to do it on the left eye and the right eye. So the Freeze tool is going to be the 4th one from the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4. Grab that Freeze tool. That's kind of a big brush. I'm going to make it a little smaller. And we're going to drag it right underneath that eye. Very red. Looks like he's going to a football game. There we go. Freeze, 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 freeze. These pixels will not move now. When we hit Liquify and we drag that eyelid down a little bit more, it's not going to affect this at all because we put a freeze mask on there. And we're going to go ahead and do it on the other eye too, just because we already have the tool going. Freeze, freeze, freeze. There we go. And that should do it. Now we are going to hit our tool to liquify. We're going to drag that eyelid down just a little bit. Oh, that looks good. We're doing good. Yes. Right here in the corner, a little bit more on this eye. Just move it down. Move it down. I think that's perfect. Let's unthaw it. So if that's the freeze, that's the thaw. I'm just going to go ahead and erase that. And oh my goodness, that baby is 100% asleep. Look at those eyes. Closed. And that is how you close the eyes on an image where their eyes just didn't close all the way, but it's still a cute image and you want to use it. So we just go ahead and close them the rest of the way using our warp tool and using Liquify. Once you're done with that, oops, let's see, let's flatten this. We can go to, the next step would just be cleaning up the skin a little bit. I don't really want to get too into that on this one. I would like to go back and do another tutorial on how to clean up that skin at a later time. But that's how you do eyes. And thank you so much for watching this tutorial. We appreciate it. Like and subscribe.